Hello, my name is Reese Burnell. I'm a planner with HRM's Strategic Projects team. I'm the lead planner tasked with conducting the comprehensive neighborhood planning process that will guide the redevelopment of the lands known as the Young Street Lands Future Growth Node. The purpose of this presentation is to provide updates on the ongoing planning process that will serve to inform the public leading into the second phase of public engagement. This presentation will first give a brief overview of what a future growth node is and how the Young Street Lands Future Growth Node fits in the broader redevelopment plans of the area known as Young District through the implementation of the Young District Infrastructure Plan. From here, the presentation will outline the important steps that have been completed so far that have guided the decisions for the future redevelopment of the Young Street Lands Future Growth Node. Details of the proposed planning regulations that have been considered to guide this redevelopment will then be provided. These proposed planning regulations will also be presented at the second phase of public engagement for feedback. 2 landowners have submitted development proposals to be considered as part of the planning process for the Young Street Lands Future Growth Node. This presentation will provide a brief overview of these 2 development proposals. The next steps of the comprehensive planning process will then be provided, as well as the expected timeline in which the remaining steps of the planning process will be completed. Finally, the presentation will then provide details on what the public can expect at the second phase of public engagement, as well as the date, time, and location of the public engagement. FGNs, short for Future Growth Nodes, are underutilized areas of land that have been identified to support significant growth and development within HRM's Regional Center. Policies in the Regional Center Secondary Municipal Planning Strategy direct areas designated as an FGN to be developed as complete communities to achieve the following: providing a variety of uses and services, supporting existing and newly developed transit services, providing parks and open space, and preserving environmental and/or cultural features that might be present in the area. The map on the right side of the presentation slide shows in a blue shade all areas designated as a future growth node within the regional center. The following map shows the boundaries of the Young Street Lands Future Growth Node, shaded in orange. The Young Street Lands Future Growth Node is bounded by Young Street to the northwest, Roby Street to the northeast, Almond Street to the southeast, and Windsor Street to the southwest. The Young Street Lands Future Growth Node is approximately 11.8 hectares in size and includes 8 properties owned by 5 separate property owners. The priority for this future growth node is to create a more pedestrian-friendly environment by introducing a formalized and fine-grained block pattern, improving walkability through new and expanded mobility connections, and creating vibrant pedestrian streets. The Young Street Lands Future Growth Node is expected to contain approximately 6,000 dwelling units and will act as a central hub for Halifax's North End. The Young Street Lands Future Growth Node is also situated at the crossing of 2 future bus rapid transit routes along Roby Street and Young Street. These routes were proposed through HRM's rapid transit strategy. As part of the comprehensive neighborhood planning process to redevelop the Young Street Lands Future Growth Node, HRM planning and development staff are also working closely with HRM's Strategic Transportation Planning Group in developing the Young District Infrastructure Plan. The Young District Infrastructure Plan will establish a framework for planning, financing, development, and construction of infrastructure over the next 30 years to accommodate significant growth within the boundaries of Young District. This includes an analysis for future demand of transportation, water, wastewater, stormwater, power, and communication infrastructure. By understanding this future demand, the plan will be used to support growth and help transform Young District into a complete, transit-oriented community. Findings and important information obtained from the Young District Infrastructure Plan have supported the ongoing planning process and will be used to guide the future development of the Young Street Lands Future Growth Node. More information regarding the Young District Infrastructure Plan can be found on the Engage Halifax project page provided at the bottom of this presentation slide. Members of the Young District Infrastructure Plan will also be present at the public engagement meeting if you have any questions regarding this project. The The following map shows the boundaries of the area referred to as Young District, identified by a red dotted line. The Young District boundary extends from Almond Street to the southeast, Roby Street to the north, Merkel Street to the northeast, and Windsor Street to the south. This map also shows the boundaries of the Young Street Lands future growth node as part of the Young District area, represented as the black dotted gray area within the district. As part of the comprehensive neighborhood planning process, the first phase of public engagement for this project included 3 public open house sessions held on June 26, 2024 at the Maritime Hall. The first phase of public engagement was done with the Young District Infrastructure Plan team. The public engagement consisted of various visioning exercises and informational display boards to obtain feedback from the public on how they would like to see Young District and the Young Street Lands future growth node redeveloped. HRM staff also included an online survey for the public to provide their feedback. Feedback collected through the first phase of public engagement and the online survey was analyzed and produced through a What We Heard report. The What We Heard report for the first phase of public engagement can be found on the Engage Halifax website. A link to the Engage Halifax website and the What We Heard report has been included in the YouTube video description below. HRM staff have drafted planning regulations to help guide the future redevelopment of the Young Street Lands future growth node. These planning regulations have considered feedback obtained from the first phase of public engagement, findings from the ongoing development of the Young District Infrastructure Plan, and discussions with internal and external review agencies, as well as negotiations and discussions with landowners within the future growth node. As part of these proposed planning regulations, HRM staff are proposing several land uses that will be permitted to be established within the future growth node. Some of these permitted uses include residential uses, such as multi-unit dwellings, grade-related dwelling units, and shared housing. The future growth node will also permit a wide variety of commercial uses, such as grocery stores, offices, retail, restaurants, and fitness centers. Institutional uses permitted within the future growth node will include daycares, schools, medical clinics, libraries, and emergency services. The FGN will also permit limited light industrial uses, such as research and development facilities and wholesale food production. Urban agricultural uses are also being considered, such as farmers markets, as well as parks and community facility uses. Definitions for all these uses can be found in the Regional Center Land Use Bylaw. A link to the bylaw has been provided in the description below and on the project's Engage Halifax website. HRM staff are looking to implement regulations that will control how buildings are built within the FGN. In other words, a buildings built form. One of these regulations include the maximum height buildings will be permitted to develop within the future growth node. Staff are proposing to allow buildings between 5 to 40 stories in height or more within the future growth node. These include various building typologies such as mid-rise buildings with a height between 5 to 7 stories, tall mid-rise buildings with a height between 8 to 10 stories, and high-rise buildings with a height more than 10 stories. The following map shows how HRM staff are considering distributing these building typologies and building heights amongst the Young Street Lands future growth node. Mid-rise to high-rise building typologies, represented as Area 1, would generally be permitted along Roby Street, Young Street, the center of the FGN, and the corner of Almond and Roby Street, where denser development is more suitable. Mid-rise to tall mid-rise building typologies, represented as Area 2, would generally be permitted along Almond Street to conform with the existing lower density neighborhoods south of the FGN. As part of the proposed planning regulations, staff are also proposing separation distance requirements. Separation distance refers to the minimum distance between 2 or more portions of a building above a street wall. Minimum separation distances under consideration would range between 6 to 25 meters in the future growth node, subject to building height. These distances are similar to what is already prescribed in the Center 2 zone of the Regional Center Land Use Bylaw. The minimum separation distances HRM staff are proposing would generally be the following: 6 meters between 2 mid-rise typologies or between a mid-rise and tall mid-rise typology, 12.5 meters between a mid-rise typology and a high-rise typology, 2 tall mid-rise typologies, or a tall mid-rise typology and a high-rise typology, and 25 meters between 2 high-rise typologies. The renderings on the right of the presentation slide shows different typology scenarios of which a minimum separation distance would be applied. HRM staff are also considering regulating street wall stepbacks, heights, and setbacks within the future growth node. The rendering on the right provides a visual and written description of a street wall stepback, height, and setback for your information. A street wall setback is described as the horizontal distance between the building and the property line. For buildings proposed in the future growth node, portions of the building above the street wall will also be required to be set back from the edge of the street wall to create a human scale environment along sidewalks. This is referred to as a street wall stepback. Street wall height is defined as the vertical distance between the grade of the street line to the top of the street wall of a building. HRM staff are considering permitting maximum street wall heights ranging between 3 to 5 stories within the future growth node. Street wall stepbacks and setback regulations will be site-specific and will be subject to certain development and road configurations established throughout the future growth node. Another planning regulation that HRM staff are looking to implement is floor area ratio, also known as FAR. FAR is a land use tool that helps determine the maximum amount of floor space that can be built on a property, subject to the property's lot size, while allowing flexibility in the building's design. The renderings on the right of the presentation slide shows an example of a 4,900 square meter lot given a FAR value of 5. This situation would permit a developer to build a building with a maximum floor area of 24,500 square meters. Meeting the maximum total floor area of 24,500 square meters can be achieved in 2 ways: building a higher building taking up less lot area, or building a lower building taking up more of the lot area. In the following example, a building of 10 stories, 21 stories, or 33 stories can be developed while achieving the same maximum floor area of 24,500 square meters. It should be noted that while FAR provides some flexibility in the building's design, the buildings are still required to abide by other built form requirements, such as maximum building height, setbacks from property lines, and street wall heights, for instance. The following map shows the FAR values that HRM staff are considering assigning to the properties within the Young Street Lands future growth node. These FAR values will be further refined before the proposed planning regulations are brought forward to Regional Council for a decision. Two separate landowners have submitted development proposals as part of the planning process for the Young Street Lands future growth node. Monaghan Square South GP Limited is one of the landowners proposing a development in the Young Street Lands future growth node. The subject property is located at 3000 Monaghan Drive, known formerly as the Mayflower Curling Club. The landowner is proposing a 33-story building with approximately 415 residential dwellings. The figure on the right of the presentation slide shows a rendering of Monaghan Square South GP Limited's development proposal. The proposed building can be seen on the left along Monaghan Drive, adjacent to the existing Monaghan Square development shown on the right. The other development proposal has been submitted by FS Industries Limited, comprising of 3 of their properties within the Young Street Lands future growth node. The proposal includes a mix of commercial, retail, office, and residential uses across 11 towers ranging between 12 to 52 stories. The development is also proposing approximately 3 acres of publicly accessible, privately managed open space. The development is expected to be completed in 6 phases built over the next 25 years, with up to 4,200 residential units being proposed. The figure on the right shows a site plan rendering of the development proposed by FS Industries Limited. The following map gives an aerial view of the subject lands that are involved in the development proposals by Monaghan Square South GB Limited and FS Industries Limited. The property shaded in purple is the land involved in the development proposed by Monaghan Square South GB Limited. The property shaded in yellow are the lands involved in the development proposed by FS Industries Limited. As part of the planning process, both landowners are required to enter into a development agreement for their proposals. These development agreements will be brought to Council for decision, along with the proposed planning regulations for the Young Street Lands future growth node. Once brought to Council, a public hearing will be scheduled for this proposal, where the public will have another opportunity to provide their feedback. The next step in the planning process includes facilitating a second phase of public engagement. This engagement session will give the public an opportunity to provide feedback on the proposed planning regulations that was discussed throughout this presentation, as well as the development proposals submitted by the two landowners in the Young Street Lands future growth node. The second phase of public engagement will be held on Wednesday, August 5th, 2026. More details on the public engagement are provided on the next slide of this presentation. After the second phase of public engagement, HRM staff will analyze the feedback received to further inform the proposed planning regulations for the Young Street Lands future growth node. This feedback will also inform the development agreement negotiations with the two landowners who have submitted development proposals. HRM staff expect this process to be completed by the start of 2027. Once the planning regulations and development agreements with prospective landowners have been drafted, HRM staff will then write a staff report to bring to Council for review and decision. The drafting and completion of the staff report is expected to be ready by the start of 2027. HRM staff will then bring the staff report and other applicable documents to Council for review and decision. This process involves a public hearing where the public will have another chance to provide their feedback on the proposed planning regulations and development agreements for the Young Street Lands future growth node. The public hearing and final decision from Council is expected to be by the spring of 2027. The public can provide feedback related to this project in one of three ways. The first way is by completing the online survey that is available on the Engage Halifax project website. The survey will be available to the public until Sunday, August 23rd, 2026. The public can also choose to attend the second phase of public engagement for this project. The public engagement will be held in person at the Maritime Hall in the Halifax Forum on Wednesday, August 5th, 2026. The engagement will provide information on the project through display boards with an opportunity for the public to speak with HRM staff. Representatives of the two landowners who have submitted development proposals will also be present to explain their respective proposals. There will be no presentation given during the engagement session, and registration will not be required. The public may choose one of the following three sessions to attend. Please be aware that each session will contain the same information. The public can also reach out to HRM staff through email or phone. The contact information for HRM staff involved in this project have been provided on the right side of this presentation slide. To obtain more information about this project, please feel free to visit the Engage Halifax website through the link or the QR code provided at the bottom of this presentation slide. Thank you for your time. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me, Reese Brunell, through the contact information provided on this presentation slide. If you'd like to learn more about the project, please visit the Engage Halifax project website through the following URL link or by scanning the QR code provided.